Hey, good morning. This is Tim Squires. On my way to work again this morning in the Jeep, and I thought I would share with you something that I came across last night. I was watching Bethel at Redding. It's a church out in Redding, California, and one of the pastors out there, Chris Volatin. Of course, I think I did a video on him last week, something that he said, and I guess I'm going to do that again this week. Chris was talking about, um, basically he's on the subject of relationships, but he was talking about shame. And there was three things about Shame. Well, one thing is the difference between guilt, shame, and conviction. Guilt says, "I am sorry for what I did." Shame says, "I am sorry for who I am." But conviction says, "You're way too good for that. That's not who you are. Stop doing that and start acting more like who you are. You're way above that." He was telling a story about a woman who, uh, I think it was his son or Chris's son or somebody had sent him a video of an interview with this woman who wrote a whole book about shame. She decided that what she was going to do is to study shame. She initially was going to only study it for about 2 years to decide, what it is and how shame affects us, and all the nuances that go with shame. And after about 2 years, she discovered that she was being ruled by it, that it was affecting her everyday life, to the point where in her investigation of shame, she found out that it was stopping her and affecting her in every area of her life, to the point where she decided to go to a counselor, to an analyst or a counselor, and to get over it, because that's how much it affected her. She had no idea how much shame was influencing her life, and the whole purpose of it and the whole purpose of this video is to see how much shame is affecting you. How much shame is, again, you feel you don't feel adequate. You don't feel like you're enough. You don't feel like you can do anything. Like guilt says that I'm sorry for what I did. Shame says I am sorry for who I am. You know, and conviction. See, some people who feel convicted of what they're doing, they know that they're feeling convicted because the conviction says you're way too good for that. Well, say for example, maybe you've discovered that in some area of your life that you are doing something wrong, and shame makes you feel bad for what you've done, but to the point where you don't feel bad for just for what you've done, but you feel bad for who you are. And what I want to say to you is this, and this is the conclusion that Chris Volatin put into his message last night, was this. If you've got to admit that Christ died on the cross for you. The fact that you're here, you're alive, shows that Christ died for you. And if he died for you, then you're worth him giving his life for you. And if you are worth him giving his life for you, then you should not have shame for who you are, because you are valuable. You have value. So no matter who you are, where you are, what you're doing, if what you're doing is wrong, stop doing it, because you're way too valuable to be doing those things. You're more than that. If you're feeling sorry for what you've done, then just ask forgiveness and go on. Get it over with. But the truth of the matter is that you're way too valuable to be steeped in shame and to let shame control your life. In some religious circles, religion likes people to wallow around in shame. And what they do, they tell you you've got to feel bad about who you are so that you'll never do it again. That's their whole idea. That's one approach to shame. Feel bad about who you are so you'll never do the bad things again. But the best way to be is not to feel bad about who you are so that you'll never do it again, but that you know that you are way above those things. We'll say, for example, and I can say this as a man because I am one, if you are involved in pornography and you want to stop and you're feeling shame because you're stuck into it, then stop, not because you feel shame because you don't feel like you are scum. That's not a way to get out of it. This is who you are. You are not the pornographer. So get out of it because that's not who you are. You're way above it. If you're a person who constantly lies and you know it, and you feel shame and you feel trapped into it, don't feel bad about who you are. You are above it. So stop doing it. It's kind of like Jesus when he said, go and sin no more. Not putting you under condemnation for what you're doing. What I'm saying is stop doing those things. You're better than that. You're on the road for greatness. You're on the road for something incredible. So don't let shame handcuff you to being where you are, stuck in the mires and pities of where you are. But let this idea release you and to set you free. You are more than that you are doing or saying or being. You are more than that. So, like I said, this is what you should do. Stop feeling bad about who you are. Realize that you are someone who is incredible, and get on with your life. Just stop doing the bad stuff and start doing more of what it is that you are. If you don't know who you are, you're going to need to study who you are. Find out who you are and then start acting like it, instead of like, you don't act like that person who is stuck in shame, because that just handcuffs you. All right? So the only thing I can say is use the words of Jesus. Go and sin no more. Don't do those things. And be all that you can be. Be the incredible person that you are designed to be. And get out of that mindset of shame. Shame is an awful mindset. Get out of it. Get on with being who you are designed to be, because you're designed to be somebody great. All right, talk to you later. Bye.